but which one do you prefer, being a host or a guest?
Well, you know, at this moment, I prefer being the guest.
So I hope that I would gain a lot of energy from that. So like I could have more responsibilities in, guiding the conversation. And we're gonna talk a lot about education, more specifically liberal arts.
Oh,
yeah,
good topic.
That's right. How long have you been in the education field?
Well, officially since 2016, 17, but unofficially my whole life. And, of course, I'm sure you're going to be asking a lot more about what liberal arts really is, but, just a quick summary. It's a term that's quite foreign to a lot of people, but it's really been, the pillar of my whole life. Wow. And also the pillar of some of the most talented people that I've come into contact with, including colleagues, clients, students, etc.
Today's topic is exactly for you.
Yes. And I'm very excited to talk about it today.
So excited. You wouldn't call yourself an expert, but now I'm calling you an expert for today's episode about liberal arts. So once again, would you mind giving me a full definition of liberal arts? What is that?
Okay, so when we think about liberal arts, right, we hear the two words liberal and arts. Now, what do you think about when you hear the word liberal?
Liberal, freedom.
Freedom. And then we also think of people, the hippies, like they can do whatever they want. Liberal is that sense. Sometimes we get the sense that it's like to go on strike, right?
Yes.
And then what do you get, what sense do you have when you hear the word art?
Arts,
humanity, sometimes even like the actual fine arts, drawing, painting, performing, right? Now, but liberal arts doesn't really just encompass those things. The word liberal arts is basically the fundamental of basically the United States education system. Wow. And what it means is that basically in order for a person to be educated, the person needs to be well-versed in a lot of things. Not just in whatever the person, does for a career or does for a university major, but the person should also be able to understand the other disciplines of life and academia as well. So that generally is the liberal arts curriculum. I am from the scientific major, and what I did at university was, I did economics, I also did Japanese literature, and that really is symbolic of the liberal arts system. Wow. Where you try to teach people to know everything.
So where did you go to in the liberal art college back in USA?
Yeah, so I went to a national university, a school called Washington University in St. Louis. I'm just going to promote the school here. And what it really is, the majority of the United States schools will function under a liberal arts curriculum. Now that has spread out to a lot of the other countries as well. So you see European universities also adapting a liberal arts curriculum. You see Asian universities in Korea, in Japan, also trying to adopt the liberal arts curriculum. Our lovely friend Thao Them is also studying under the liberal arts curriculum. So it's very exciting the way education is progressing towards the future.
So it can be clearly seen that liberal arts is gaining more attention and attraction in the education field.
Yes.
So what is the purposes of liberal arts?
So one of the things that I remember about my university, it's called per veritatem vis, and that's Latin. And the interesting thing about Latin is that nobody really knows how to speak it, but you can learn parts of Latin. So per veritatem vis means in truth we trust. So in essence, the liberal arts curriculum tries to encourage people to find the truth.
Wow.
Within things that are around them. Right, and I don't want people to think of it as something that's separate from like a technical education. It's not.
Yes.
It basically is just trying to get people to know a lot of things. Now, if we look back, way back in the olden days of our modern human history, we actually see that the majority of the really famous and successful people are actually people of the liberal arts.
So in liberal arts college, what will the student learn about?
Okay, so first of all, liberal arts colleges is not the only the place that teaches liberal arts. The whole United States education is a liberal arts system, which means national universities will also teach a liberal arts system. So for example, Columbia University, right, is a national university. It's not a liberal arts college, but its curriculum is fully a liberal arts curriculum. So in general, the United States education system is a liberal arts system. And yeah, so a liberal arts college is basically a university in the US, and they have a small number of students, much smaller than a national university, but then also, you know, a lot of the attention is focused on undergraduate students, whereas the national universities tend to have like graduate programs alongside undergraduate programs, and generally it's a bigger cohort.